My name's Katie Gregson-MacLeod. I just did an interview on the Zach Sang show, and we talked about my new song, Complex.
Hello, beautiful human. My name is Zach. That is Dan, and it's okay. You seem shocked and scared.
I didn't know you were starting. I was about to go off on a tangent.
Go off. Yeah, go off.
That will be happening the next hour, however long. I don't know how long it's going to take, but it will be happening the next hour either way.
We are here in the studio with Katie Gregson-MacLeod. Did I say that correct?
You did. You're one of the first.
Yes.
Well done.
The only reason I know that is because I dated somebody with the last name Cloud.
No way.
Yes, but in Canada, they're Canadian.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. A lot of the MacLeods went over. A lot of the Highlanders went over.
To where? Oh my God, your accent's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Love it.
Thank you very much. I don't get that a lot. Yeah, lots of the Highlanders went over to Canada because of like a thing called the Highland Clearances. But I'm not going to go into a history lesson.
I teach me.
I'm not going to go into it because I don't know enough about it. Basically, all I know is something about people getting shoved off their land for sheep.
Oh.
That's going to be completely incorrect, and I'm going to get like a rife from my family or something. But yeah, that makes sense. There's some MacLeod in Canada. I'm sure I've got family in Canada. Maybe that was like a long lost cousin.
You never know. I'll ask them.
Ask them.
Yeah, I'll get back to you.
Do you know what Katie MacLeod? They're going to be like, yeah, there's at least 12 million in in Scotland. More than the population of Scotland.
But you're thriving right now, sister.
Wee bit. A tad.
How does it feel?
It feels weird. It feels like it's happening to someone else and I'm watching it sometimes. But also like just the most exciting stuff in the world. Yeah, it's amazing, but it's happened so fast. Like I think it's been 6 weeks. I think I wrote this song like the first couple of days of August, so incredibly fast.
That's ridiculous.
It's so silly. Like I'm constantly, I mean, there's certain moments where it hits me, where something really, really fucking cool happens, but most of the time it's just like, just kind of watching it all unfold and being like, what the hell is this?
And we're talking about Complex demo.
Complex, the song was demo. That's when we released.
Well, so is there ever going to be a version that's not the demo?
Yeah.
Really?
I can't give too much away, but there is, and it's going to be very soon. And it's a really fucking cool producer.
Whoa.
And I can't wait.
Whoa.
This is like breaking news.
So what are you changing about the record?
Not much, you know. I wanted to protect the emotion of it. I wanted to protect what this song is, which is just a very like raw moment. But we've just kind of made it a bit bigger and done a few bits like magic tricks on it, and yeah, it's just kind of like the produced version, because the first version wasn't. It was just me and the piano and completely live, although we actually used the same stems, so we actually just used the same vocal live performance from the demo and just worked some magic. And well, the producer did it. I was very honored to work with. So
was that a conscious decision? Did you think about going in and re-recording it?
Well, we did re-record it, and then we sent when we got this person on board, who you'll find, I mean, it's probably gonna come out in like the news will probably come out soon. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. Probably not. But when we sent it to this very cool person, like they heard both versions and they were like, no, I love the like live take you did in the demo. That has the exact emotion that is it works. And so they went with it, and it's kind of nice. Like for me, like I listened to the first mix, I was like, oh wait, they used the I'm gonna just be spitting names in like 20 minutes. But yeah, no, so like it's very understated and very subtle, but there's some magic to it, and I think that it's just, I wanted just to see where it could go, and then beyond that maybe there are more versions. Who knows? Well, not me.
You're spilling all the beans.
Honestly, I'm gonna get it right. I don't know.
Is there a strategy to releasing multiple versions of the same song?
I'm sure there is. My strategy the last like 6 weeks has just been like that's just been the whole thought process and everything.
Just screaming
at an accelerated pace. But strategy, I'm sure there is. I think I've seen like certain songs that have gone viral and they've had like 12 versions of them and like sped up, slowed down. Like I don't think I want to do that, because I think I will hate the song incredibly, and I need to play it a lot, I'm sure. But I think there is more, like I've got a few ideas in mind for versions that I'd love to do, just like to see what life the song can have. But I don't feel, I mean, it's gonna have a life of its own. I don't need to like hammer it home too much. I think it's had a lovely moment for me, but yeah, it's got a couple more.
Well, it hasn't even been a full moment, sister. It hasn't even.
It's like the start of the moment.
It's barely been a month.
Feels like a lifetime.
That's crazy.
No, it feels like a lifetime. It's like really crazy. But yeah, it's really. I have to remind myself that I wrote it so recently because I keep on having those. Because it's been a really crazy 6-7 weeks, I guess. I don't know when. How long has it been since the early August?
I mean,
what is it now?
I mean, it's not even. It's late September.
Okay, so it's been it's almost going to be 2 months. And in my head, I'm always like, why have I not written any songs recently? And then I'm like, oh wait, I wrote that song that's just been released. I need to start remembering that because I'm putting too much pressure on myself. But it's been a lifetime for me. But at the same time, it is just the beginning, which is both really exciting and terrifying because I'm like, oh my god, this is just the beginning.
Today, a little bit less than 2 months from writing the song.
Yeah.
Does the song mean something different to you today than it did back then?
Yeah, I think so. I think that when I write something anyway, it's I have incredibly cathartic moment in the initial write, and then you kind of, for me anyway, I kind of manage to separate from the emotion a wee bit, and then it might come back at certain moments, like maybe playing it live, or with this song, which is a very unique one for me, it really came back as the way that it connected with other people, the interpretations that they have and the way that it resonated with them now means a lot to me, because it's you put a song out and sometimes it won't really go past just belonging to you, but with this one it's now got a life of its own and it's resonated with people in a way that I would never have foreseen, and in a way that I didn't write it, but it's the best thing ever because it's of course I've only have one experience and that's mine, and I'm write very autobiographically, but the song means a lot to me now because other people are messaging me saying this I relate to this so much for this reason, and I'm like, that's not why I wrote it, but that's the perfect thing.
Why did you write it?
I have no idea. No, I'm kidding. I wrote it to go viral and be where I am right now. I wrote it to be here. I said I'm going to be on the Zach Sang on the 22nd of September. Mark my words. No,
it's the 23rd.
Is it the 23rd?
Yeah.
It's the 22nd somewhere, is it? No, actually, I think we're quite far late.
Yeah, we're behind.
Okay, well, it's the 24th somewhere, so maybe we should all just forget about time. Yeah, well, I said I was going to be on the Zach Sang show on the 23rd. No, I had it was a very emotional evening. I wrote it in one big, just in one, and I wrote it, yeah, in an evening. Obviously, it's kind of an emo evening. You can tell probably if you heard the song. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you can't, when that moment happens, that you can't. Well, you can stop it, but it was just you just let it pour out a wee bit, and I had it's just lots of realizations and reflections, and yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one. It's a bit of a blur writing it now. It's one of the few ones I didn't record in my phone. Maybe that's why it worked. Maybe it's it was this historic moment, and it just was beyond technology for me, and it was I did it with a quill, and I was maybe that was it, but I think it was just a bit of a blur. I think that I needed it in that moment, and it resonates with me for a different reason now. But
what is it now?
For now, it's just this, as I said before, it's this thing that's connected with so many people in a way that I probably can't comprehend. But in it's an honor. It's feels like being a lottery winner.
Why did it need to be longer than 4 minutes?
Because I refuse to write songs that are short enough for radio. No, I'm kidding. It's the opposite of a skill. It's I really just can't, and I'm getting a right over there. No, I honestly, who knows? I love a long pre-chorus. I love a long pre-chorus, but honestly, the answer is that whatever I thought of in that moment, I just let that happen, and then when this all happened, and I ended up thinking about releasing the song, I was let's not change a thing. Or actually, I said that, and I say that in every interview, but I did change a thing because I cut off the first half of the first verse, so it was going to be even longer. You can imagine the horror that my newly signed label felt when I was oh yeah, it's 4 minutes 45. But no, we cut off the first half of the first verse, which initially I was no, protect your artistry, but then I kind of got to the point where I was yeah, actually that makes sense. And also I wasn't a huge fan of the first part, and I think that I say what I said in the first part in what we have anyway. So I actually lied to every journalist when I said I didn't change a thing, because I didn't in my head, but then I forgot about that first bit of the verse, which I forgot that I wrote. but that's that. So it's 4 minutes 16, but I wouldn't change a thing. I just thought I'd let it be what it was, which is why it worked, I think. Hopefully.
Were you right? Well, did this song help you come to terms with being in love with somebody who wouldn't love you back the same way?
No.
What is it about?
Oh, I thought you meant like, did it help? I was like,
oh, it didn't help.
No.
But that's what it is about.
No, it did. It is about that. It was like,
I've been there so many times.
I'm so sorry. Did this song help you?
Yeah, it did.
Most importantly, that's what it's about today, right? This is therapy. No, I guess it helped in a way that I was like, like fuck you, like to my ex. By the same breath, it's like these are it's not linear, and like these are emotions that I from like a while ago that like came back and I was reflecting upon. So I'm kind of hoping that I'm hoping that I'm not over it so I can write another one. But at the same time, of course, every time I write about it, it helps so much because it's like processing. I don't know how people process without it, honestly. I don't know.
But you're not healed on it. The wound still is open. I
think so. I think it's very obvious by the song that the wound is still open. But I think it's like time, and I think that writing like helps exponentially. I think it just understanding how you feel, or even just like talking about how you don't understand it, and it's just the best thing ever. And I feel like I'm very lucky to have that part in my life to do that.
Does a part of you wish that this person will come back and love you the way you love them?
No. But I do wish that they watch every second of this and go, oh, that's about me. No offense. No, I mean,
do they know right now?
Yeah.
Did you tell them, or did they just see it organically?
No, they'll just know. But then I bumped into them, and there's about more than one person. Not in like a way that is like I was just all over the place, but it's like about a bit of a pattern of events. But like the main person that's about knows, and I bumped into them, and they were like, I'm really happy for you. And I was like, no, you're not. But I love the energy. I was like, I love you that you're trying. I love that you're trying. I'm so happy for you. It's a nice moment. It's a nice moment, but it's not, yeah. This isn't airing, is it? This is like never going to be heard by anyone, so it's fine.
No one's listening.
No. Wait.
Thank God we're not saying it on like live on the radio or anything. That'd be a disaster.
Okay. It's only been 2 months. Mm-hmm. You're stressed about not writing music.
Yes.
Are you not afraid or nervous to sit down and write again off the heels of this?
I have written a song since then, which was like the biggest moment of relief ever. I think that
Why was it relieving?
Because I mean now it's like it's like this kind of completely irrational fear of like, maybe I will never write a song ever again, and I've just been given money to do that. Like, you know what I mean? It's like that was the fear, and it's a very irrational thing because I can't help but writing a lot. And I've always written. Before this I would write like every day, so I think I was just worried because it had been like maybe a few weeks where I'd been maybe writing like a tiny bit, but I was barely writing because obviously I was having a very like overwhelming and like world shattering couple weeks, and I don't usually write about like business meetings, you know what I mean? So it wasn't the most inspirational couple weeks. It was inspirational in the way that I was like, oh my God, my life's changing, but maybe it'll be in like a year it'll be inspiring. But right now it's like I'm so in it that it's like processing it in any way is quite difficult. But like I think that I was just a bit scared that, not scared, but I think maybe just the pressure's on a wee bit, and it's like you have something to prove now, because before that I was always like, oh my God, I'm just a wee Highland folk singer with nothing to prove, and I'm just gonna write my songs, and then one of them like did really well, and that's just a fluke. But now I'm like, oh my God, now there's like people listening,
seriously people listening, and
it seems that way,
and they gave you money.
We need to maintain my image, man. I'm a Highland girl. I'm a humble Highland girl. Humble.
Who's just looking to get her heart broken?
Just looking to. I mean, no, ideally not too much more. I think that like I can use a few things that have happened already, and just like till I'm dead, just use them.
Milk it.
I plan on never getting into a romantic situation ever again.
It was that bad.
Yeah, but I was lying there. But like it was bad. But like, I maybe I should just like try to do that again because it worked for me. I mean, there's a lot. The songs are like there's so many of them. Let's do it again. I need to figure it out again.
A lot of artists do that.
Like on purpose?
Oh yeah, they like to get hurt for the sake of art. Oh yeah, some of the biggest artists in the world.
Well, connect me with them and we can talk about that, because I mean, it can be like a mutual thing, and it can, I don't know, like maybe we can make an arrangement.
I would say self-sabotage, but it's not, because really you come out
but it works
the victor.
because you're like, oh my god, I like got money for that or whatever. But
Yeah, casual.
there's pros and cons, I'm sure.
Have you been writing only by yourself?
Yeah, but then the other day I did my first co-write, which was so fun.
This is crazy. So
Yes.
you're literally like, you do everything alone. You have a hit now, and now they're just
alone. Yeah.
throwing you into things.
No, they're not really throwing me in because I'm very stubborn and I'm like, it has to be the right thing.
So who have you been in with?
But I'm like the biggest Matt Maltese fan. I'm not sure if you know
cool.
Matt Maltese,
Yeah.
but I'm like his biggest fan. But don't tell him that. It's really uncool. Don't say that. I actually, the first time I met Matt Maltese, I told him that I was like, we had like my friend and I had booked like matching Matt Maltese tattoos, not of like his face, but like of a lyric of his, like, and it was like going to be a wee doodle of it, like it was just a silly little tattoo, and we'd booked that like a few weeks before, and then I told him that when I first met him, and I was like, oh my god, did I just like ruin it? Did I just like get into the room and go, hi, I'm your biggest fan, I'm gonna get your lyric on my body forever? You know what I mean? That's kind of a strong start. But we ended up writing a really nice song, and I was like, not even like, I thought I played it pretty cool.
Is nice the same as a great song?
Well, I don't know. We'll have to find out, I guess. I think it's a good song.
How do you tell if it's a great song?
Because like 7 million people listen to it and like it on the internet. That's the only way I know. I've only written one great song. I've only written one. No, I'm kidding. I think that like there are certain songs that I love that I'm like till I die attached to, and everyone else is like, okay, it's like that's a song. And then there's some songs that I like, Complex, where there's no consciousness to it, and then like, I mean, I wasn't sitting there like, oh my god, I've just written a hit that like Camila Cabello's gonna totally love to do a cover of. Do you know what I mean? And then, but it ended up happening, but it's totally unconscious, you know? So who knows? That's a big question.
So what do you carry with you from Complex that you're gonna apply moving forward?
Just like, just being a hit maker, fame, money.
Money, bitches,
just
cars.
Success, I guess. I'm kidding. No, I'd like to carry just the rawness of that moment. I don't know why I said that with a gleeful smile on my face. That's messed up. I like to carry through the raw pain and emotion. No, I think that like the reason why that song worked for me is because it was just a really sad moment. It was a really like
You sound like a psycho right now.
I'm just desperate to have another one. No, it worked because it was just like such a raw moment that like you can't fake. Like, oh, I can't fake. Maybe people are really good at it, but I can't fake it. And like, I want to just carry through, like using it as that processing tool. And I think that if you're coming from that place of like complete honesty, then hopefully something will come out from that. But I think that like that's why right now it's just that kind of, you know, concern that I'm not having enough like drama in my personal life to like, you know, I'm having way too much fun. It's getting ridiculous now. I'm like nowhere near sad enough for this to work.
We got to change that.
We got to change that. It's like getting too far now.
Carlos, kick her in the shin.
Carlos, don't do that. Carlos, that's not the kind of pain we're talking about here. Carlos, break my heart.
Carlos, fall in love with me so that you can break me.
I'm leaving tomorrow. We have one night.
Just the visual of Carlos trying to wine and dine you and fall in love with you is really something else.
It's too much. You used to buy me Birkenstocks.
The way to your heart. A fresh pair of Birks.
The beige suede Birkenstock clocks. Size 5. Write that down. Yeah.
What are you thinking, Dan?
Are you still working in the coffee shop, or did you finally get to quit?
I did like a kind of like a fade out of the coffee shop. Like,
What's a fade out?
like just kind of went, I might not be there in the next 2 weeks, and then just never went back. Like, but I love them. Like there's like it's like a team of like 4 or 5 of us. Like we're a tiny team, and I've been there since I was 17, since it opened, and we're all really good friends. So it wasn't one of those places that I was like, fuck you guys, I'm quitting. Like, I'm off out of here. Like it wasn't like a movie scene. It was just like my boss, who's like a good friend of mine, being like, well, fucking well done, on you go. And I was just like, I guess I'm off. And it was like a sad moment, but it was nice. And I would like to do some guest shifts there because I miss making coffee.
Do you?
Yeah, I love making coffee.
What do you make well?
I love making a flat white. It's just, I feel like it's just the best one. It's like the most popular, not the most popular one. It's kind of the most popular one.
Do you do matcha?
Yeah, I can do matcha. If you come to Inverness, and you're on Church Street, I will make you a matcha if I'm there, which I probably won't be. But I will do that, like 100%.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You know, that shit is expensive, but I used to use so much of it, and then they were always like, why are you using that much matcha?
Well, you want to give people a nice little pickup.
I'm like, give them the experience they deserve.
Thank you.
Like, if I like them, the greener the matcha gets. You know what I mean? It's like the pigment, it just goes up if they're sound.
Has this played out the way you dreamed it would?
Oh my gosh. I don't think I had. It was one of those weird things where I think that maybe not every, but like young musicians or any musician like has these things about like, I don't know, these ideas about what it all would look like, but it's all happened so fast, and it's like goals that would have played out in like maybe like 5 years worth of goals for me, or like things that would kind of weren't necessarily on my list because it's just completely unexpected. I think that it could never feel how you imagine it would feel like, because you have no idea, and it feels like it's just weird and like numb, but also really exciting. But like it's pretty sick at the same time. I don't know. I never like, some of the things that have happened, I honestly weren't even like big goals for me. They were just things that like became my truth.
Like what?
Like I never was like, as a musician, I was never like, I want to get signed by a major record label. That was never like, you know, I was never my big goal.
What was your goal?
My goal was just to be able to make music for a living and be able to, and I wanted like huge success in that. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I was always like, but lots of the artists that I love aren't on majors, and like I was like, and I intended to have like kind of that path, I guess. And as an indie musician, I was like, you know, whatever happens. But I did have huge goals, and there's certain things that like, it's funny, like they're in like my manifestation journal, which are now happening. But
like what was in your journal?
There's like, this is a journal for a reason. But I actually found like a page that I wrote when I had like a manifestation phase for like 2 days, I think. And it was like, you know, when you write like as though it's already happened, that's like a manifestation tool. By the way, it works. Whoever listening at home, it works. Do it, even if it's only for 2 or 3 days. But I was like writing like, I am grateful that I get to like travel the world for my music, and I get to like speak to and I get to like, I'm like, critics love me, award shows love me. No, I'm kidding. It wasn't like that, but it was kind of like that. But it was just like lots of different things that are, you know, goals that I think so many people share, but they were just goals. And it was really, especially not like, I knew it would happen in a weird way. Like I was like, I'm waiting for it to happen, but I never thought it would have happened like this and this quickly. You know, I was at uni until, I technically still am at uni. I'm sorry, uni, for not being there. I haven't left yet, but they'll know now.
You gotta fade away from that one too.
Edinburgh Uni is gonna see a quick fade out from me. No offense. Honestly, I got an email today like, thanks for like being at the class, to the group, and I was like, that's a shame. Russian history. I'm sorry. Stalinist history. I'm really sorry.
Oh, you're taking Russian history.
It'll always be there though, I feel like.
What school? Yes.
Stalinist history.
Oh, whatever that is. Yeah, sure.
Stalin.
Oh, Stalin.
Stalinist history.
Whatever.
It'll always be there.
School will never go anywhere. This, fleeting.
Oh, all right. Ooh.
Are you afraid of that?
No, not some. I mean, like, I guess it's always never gonna be linear. It's never gonna be like, it's only gonna get up from here. There's always gonna be moments of it going down and up again, and then crazy, and then left and right. But like, I guess I'm anticipating anxiety when it does die down for the first time. I think that'll be, because it's like with viral stuff and with like what's happening to me right now, it's so crazy and it's so fast that like as soon as it slows down, it probably will be a bit like shaky, but not because it's going to be a bad sign. It's just because it needs to, and it'll actually be bad if it doesn't for me. But like, yeah, I think it's kind of, it's not linear. I think it's always a fear that things are going to like slow down to the point of halt, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Have you thought about what it means to be a one-hit wonder?
Oh, no, I'm kidding. I have. Of course I have. Because it's like with I mean, like TikTok has given me so much of what I have now, and it's like given me so much of my audience, but at the same time it's like, yeah, it kind of fosters that like huge moment, and then that like silence kind of thing. It does, that can happen like as a natural thing because it is fleeting, but I think the thing for me is I was doing this before that moment, and I will do it after that, and hopefully people will stick around that have discovered my music through TikTok. But the real thing for me is just building a fan base and doing going back to live shows and making music, and that's things that like will happen either way. Online things are kind of a bit more fickle and crazy and unpredictable.
Do you believe that? Like, if life for some reason 6 months from now goes back to normal and you're back at the coffee shop, music is still a part of your everyday existence?
I mean, I'm always gonna write. I just kind of know it's not gonna happen, but maybe it sounds naive or crazy, but I guess like I know that the thing that I love most about it is the writing and then the performing it live, and those are things that like won't really go away unless I never write a song again. We're circling back to that.
What are you thinking?
Does it surprise you when any of these big name artists or celebrities are like sliding in your DMs or your comment section?
Oh yeah, every time without fail, it surprises me. I mean, that first day, that surprised me a lot. You can imagine. It was like I literally woke up to like Gracie Abrams, Lennon Stella, Fletcher, Macy Peters in the first morning.
When Complex dropped?
Or when the snippet was out?
When the snippet went online.
So they all just responded to the snippet?
Within 12 hours, there were dozens of artists that I was a huge fan of commenting already. And then it just got crazier and crazier. And then when all the covers started, that was a whole new level of crazy. Because it was like, not only were artists that I love and these huge artists in a different universe, like not only were they engaging with it and enjoying the song, they were like doing it enough to make their own like version of it and do their own covers and stuff. Like Camila Cabello did a rewrite, and like Fletcher did one, and like King Princess and JP, and it's just insane.
Huge.
It's huge. And it's never gonna get like not weird. It's always gonna be weird. Like it's so cool.
Didn't you perform with JP the other night?
Yes, I did.
How weird was that?
That was so fun. It was like it didn't feel weird in a weird way. It's like in a weird way. It did not feel weird in a way. But like JP and I only met on like on Tuesday, but he obviously had covered my song like a few weeks ago, and I mean he's like such a nice guy, and we met up on Tuesday and like sang some songs, and then he was like, "Do you want to come and sing this at the show?" And I think that it was just a nice way to, like, it's my first performance in the US. That's my first time in the US, but like it just felt really natural and lovely, and like I think his audience is kind of we share probably some like audience in terms of people that are into like singer-songwriters, so people in the audience were like singing the song. When I got to the chorus, of course everyone was like, "Who the hell is this?" in the verses, and then the chorus came on, they were like, "Oh, it's the Boxers girl." So it was nice for me, and it was it was like Rockwood, so it was kind of cool.
Why do you think people resonate with this record?
This is the $1 million question, isn't it? But I guess for me, what I kind of see from it, although I will never know, I don't think, but I think that it's probably, like as I was saying earlier, because it was just really unguarded and honest, and I think that because of that, people seem to be able to like relate to it in a way that they wouldn't if it hadn't been so raw. It's such a really tricky one. I don't know. I honestly don't know. And if I'd known it was going to happen, then it would have been a different story. Maybe I wouldn't have written the song. But yeah, I think it's just people seem to be resonating with it for different ways.
Imagine you didn't write the song.
Are you wanting me to imagine it right now?
That's sad. I don't want you to don't do that.
I wasn't living a sad little life.
No. I mean, it's
a sad little life.
That's not Camila Cabello covering your records on TikTok.
No, it's definitely no. I know, because I actually literally was sitting in my drafts for 2 days, and I'm like, what if I didn't get out the drafts and pop it up? What if I didn't?
What?
But I don't want to think about that. Cause
why
silly.
was it sitting in your drafts? Like, why'd you put it there to begin with?
Because I was like really late at night. I recorded it. I was like super late, and then also I'd just written the song, and sometimes with new songs, you like have the moment with the new song where you're like, this is great, I love this because it feels really personal to me and I love it for this moment, and then like a week later you're like, oh my god, that was trash, no one told her, like it was you know what I mean? So I was like, let's give a couple of days just to check this is not shite, and then I put it up because I was like, you know what, it means a lot to me, and maybe like, and that's it, you know what I mean? It just wasn't, there wasn't any conscious thought going into it, but thank god I did.
Wow.
How did you feel about people calling it the new driver's license?
It was funny. It was so like weird because I mean at that time people started saying that way too early on to say that. I mean, it was like Capital FM put an article out like 2 days in, being like the new Olivia Rodrigo.
You know, those Capital FM people, they love the fucking. I see you, Roman. I see you, Will Manning. I see you all.
Gotta get
and
those
your
clicks.
clickbait bullshit.
Well, you know, it's
I fucking see you.
I didn't mind it at the time. I was like, sure. If you're all friend, like, you know what I mean?
Hey, if you said it,
if the shoe fits,
does not fit.
it's like, oh, it doesn't. Oh, never mind.
Shoving a size 12 in a size 5 Birkenstock.
Birkenstock. If only I had them. I only had them. No, I mean, it was obviously sick to be compared. I remember that moment. Like, was it last year? It's been a long time. It's been a lifetime.
Was
it last year?
It was like 2 years ago.
It was 2020?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, so in 2020, I remember that moment online of being like...
No, 2021. Yeah, Carlos
yeah,
Cameron.
me and Carlos are totally... We get it. Like, it was 2021.
We get it. You want to start dating Carlos. Relax.
Well, one night only. 2021, I remember that moment online where it was like, this song is... this is everywhere. And this is like the biggest song of the year. And you knew that even before it had been the biggest song of the year. But that's not like so to hear that about mine. I was like, well, let's just all calm down a bit. Let's just all like hold our horses here. But I mean, it's a big song for me anyway. Yeah, I mean, it's one of my bigger ones. So I'm like, I guess in a sense, it kind of adds up.
I always said it's just not fair because people are going to listen to the song differently, thinking,
oh my god, yeah. I'm like, guys, don't make that the first thing people hear. Because people are going to be like, let's just fucking find out, I guess, and listen to it. And they're going to be like, it's not Olivia Rodrigo's vocals.
That's what happened to me. People were like, hey, this is the next driver's license.
I said it.
Alright, it was Zach. And I was like, the song's good, but I was like, it can't compare it to driver's license. That's not fair.
Oh, thanks, man. It just can't compare, but it's like, it's good. It's alright.
It's different.
It's cute.
It's different. It's not fair to compare them. You're putting so much expectation on the song. Like, hey, listen to this one.
Yeah, no, I hate that. I'm like, I think the reason that everyone liked it when it's on their For You page in early August, because they were like, I never heard of this. And then everyone, when they hear of it, and they're like, people are like, oh, this is like a big song. Then you go into it differently. You go into it with that expectation.
Exactly.
And then you're like, well, it wasn't my man Capaldi. It wasn't Rodrigo. Like, what was it? Do you know what I mean? But
it was you.
It was me. It was me. Technically, yeah.
Hey, you were with Lewis the other day, weren't you?
Yes, Scottish pals.
He's one of the funniest people in the world.
He's so great. He's so great. I mean, like, he was one of the first people that I met, like, as an art, like, one of the first artists that I met when this all happened. Because he was like, he messaged me being like, this is a great song, I love it. And I was like, oh, fucking hell. Like, hi. And it's about time. I was like,
where have you been?
I'm Scottish as well. You're supposed to be here together. No, like, I mean, the thing about Lewis is, like, when I met him, it was like the first week that I was down in London for all the crazy label discussions and stuff, and it was just such a breath of fresh air. Somebody that's like exactly how you imagine they're gonna be, like, so down to earth, so funny, very Scottish, like, and it was just lovely to speak to him. Also, he's been through, on a bigger scale, he's been through the absolute craziness of, like, that trajectory and the stuff that he, like, the advice that he gave me, but he didn't do it. Lewis wouldn't do it in like here's my advice kind of way, but like the stuff they said to me, like it was nice to hear, because you're like, oh my god, yeah, like no one else has said that, and like that's exactly how I feel, which is nice.
He gets it.
He
Just understands.
He gets the youth.
Who else is Scott? Nina Nesbitt. Is she from Scotland?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, hi Nina.
Hi Nina.
That's all I gotta say.
She messaged me the other day.
Ooh, I think
I was like, about time. No, I'm kidding. No, Nina Nesbitt, she's so cool.
Where have you been?
Yeah, but everybody from Scotland's funny. That's the thing. You guys are all funny. Like, Nina doesn't realize she's funny, but she is.
I don't know if that's true. It's just us.
You're very fun. Oh, just you three?
Yeah, just the big three.
You're Scotland.
There's 3 people in Scotland that are funny. We're not in Scotland. So what happens now for Scotland?
You're all in America now, and we stole all you.
Yeah. Don't say that. Actually, people will get mad if you say that.
America?
I am American. In my eyes.
I can hear it in your voice.
I'm American.
Can you do an American accent?
Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. I can. It's really good. It's probably the better than your one, to be honest. No, don't do that. Don't do that to me. That's just sick of you. But
it's really good.
I was kidding. It's like oh my god, I'm not doing it. No, that's so embarrassing for me. What would I say? No, I'm not doing that. People commented. No, I've seen versions of on TikTok of people doing covers of my song and captioning it complex if it was in a British accent. And I was like,
what?
Fuck, what is it already? And then I got really scared for a minute, no offense, that I was singing it in an American accent. And then I heard myself say cool girl. And I was like, nah, I'm fine. I'm still sticking by my roots. But people were like, is this if it was in a Scottish accent? I was like, oh, I've been Americanized. But no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. That's where I draw the line. That's
Okay.
boundaries.
Boundaries are safe and healthy. I respect it.
Gotta start somewhere.
Sidebar, Louis Capaldi going to be exactly where you're sitting in exactly a week from today.
Oh my god. I mean, I thought it was going to be the funniest one. No, I'm kidding. He's such a gem. He's so
great.
funny. I also love his new song. I'm not going to plug it though because I don't want to help him any more than he already has enough help.
He literally almost got naked for his song. So he's doing fine.
I mean, it's always next time. Next time. Different vibe though, isn't it? Different vibe. Not the same. I'm going to stick with the dad on holiday chic. For me.
You do look like you're wrangling a family while trying to make your way to a dolphin excursion.
I like that. I think. I don't quite know what it means. I like that.
You're juggling a cruise ship, but with a family of 4. Okay. You're figuring it out.
Maybe I'll start writing songs from the perspective of a dad on holiday. That's a concept album. That is a concept album.
That's not a concept. Don't do that.
It is now.
It's not. Yeah. So the concept should be not done. It's not.
This should not be.
No, let's not bake
I
that
think
one.
I think as soon as you pop Birkenstocks with socks, it just equals dad.
No,
on a holiday.
You wear the Birks very well.
Thank you.
And
I think there's only one way you can wear them, but I like the energy.
I'm one of the fathers of the Birk, and I approve.
You're one of the fathers.
Yes.
You're one of us.
There's a Birkenstock board of people who just determine whether or not people are worthy of wearing them.
Do you have the power to send me Birkenstocks? Because we talked about this before being on air.
I just know.
And you really kept that quiet. So I'm like.
No, but what was I able to tell you exactly where you needed to go to buy
Googleable.
the exact thing?
Where's your insider knowledge, man? Get me some size 5 Boston clogs. I've been waiting. There's out of stock the whole of the UK.
Yeah, I mean, you guys. I mean, yeah, you import them over there. Actually, they're from Germany.
Yeah, so do you.
Yeah.
I thought you'd know that since you're on the board.
Yeah, because I'm on the board of Birks.
You are Mr. Stock.
How do you measure success today?
Oh my god, that's a quick jump. How do you measure success? Okay, I thought we just covered that, getting stock, wearing the Birkenstocks. No, I measure success.
My happiness is attached to my feet.
Oh my gosh, that's a big question. I think that'll change all the time.
Yeah.
I think that success for a certain week will be something different. Do you know what I mean? I mean, this week my success just looked like trying to have fun and just relax at the same time as all this crazy shit was happening and going abroad, and I had a great time, and I got really drunk, and not the whole time. I don't want to be that Scottish person. I wasn't but I managed to relax, and that was kind of my main goal. That was my main success this week. I think musically, I think it's just being able to release the kind of music that I've always wanted to release, despite everything around it. I think that just being able to write the kind of music that I would have written anyway, but just having just maturing and just having the same progress as a musician, but with all this opportunity. And I mean, there's obviously, I've got goals, I've got every artist probably does, but for me it's just being able to write those songs and make them exactly how I want them to sound. But obviously I want them to do well. That's that's a facet of it.
Hey, what the hell's the big light?
This is the big question.
It is the big question.
I'm not answering that. That's so much our lesson, our boundary.
Your boundaries are moving.
It's really funny because the big light became a big thing on the internet. Hashtag the big light has a lot of views on TikTok.
Do you know what the big light is and you're just not sharing it?
Mm-hmm. I know what the big light is. Big light. I'm not going to say the big light. It's just the light up there. No, I think that, people interpret the big light in some crazy ways.
People thought it was the sun or the moon.
Or God. Or death. Which was my favourite ones. I was you're really going for it. And that's why I don't say what each... I don't overanalyze all the lyrics, because I'm people have really just taken their own from it, and people are very sure of themselves. Like they will like comment, "This is what she meant," and then I'm like, "Oh, did I?" I'm like, "Oh shit, maybe I did." Do you know what I mean? I'm like, maybe I should think about that. That's better than what I did. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of I just take credit for whatever everyone else says about my stuff. So whatever you like, I'm like, you can read the comments. Whatever one you think's the best, that's definitely the one that I meant it as. But I think for me, it was like it's an autobiographical moment, but the big light, it like represents that moment represents something bigger than just turning off the light.
Okay.
But the actual light is just the light. Breaking news. It's just the big light. Do you know what you have the big light here, right? You say that? No?
No, I don't know what that means.
Oh.
That's...
I thought that like people in my comment section were like, "Oh no, it's a thing here too." But actually no, only half of them were like, "The fuck did you just say?" No, like the big light is just, oh my god, I'm gonna leave. I don't want to tell you now. It's so fun to have you not know what it is.
Wait, what?
The big light's a really big thing. It's a secret. It's a secret in the UK.
Wait, what?
No, it's not. It's just the overhead light. So you have like lamps. You have like small lights, and then you have like the one that's like usually at the ceiling.
Okay, so you call that the big light?
That's so funny that you don't have that here. I can never be American.
Well, I mean, not gonna lie, that just sounds dumb.
It's not, no.
Like we didn't have a better word, so we go
right,
the big light.
So yeah, but it's
like what?
It's a bit of like a jokey thing. It's like we say big shop. You say big shop here?
No.
So it's like if you're, oh my god, this is the best one. This is the best thing ever. Big shop is like when you go to like supermarket, like go to like Tesco. When you don't go to Tesco, you go to
like a Walmart or
gas
Target.
Station.
You go to a Walmart.
We call it a superstore.
You go to a superstore. That's so weird. Okay. You go
or
to,
just a
no
Walmart.
Offense. Sorry, no. Go to a superstore.
No,
superstore.
You can offend
You go
me.
to a Walmart, and you're getting a food shop for like a week or two. You know, a bit like the whole shebang. You're getting everything. You're getting a big shop. That's what we call it. I'm going to go do the big shop. I'm going to go turn off the big light.
I like this.
We just put big in front of everything that's big relative to the other thing being quite big. I don't know. I
really
feel like
basic.
I didn't explain that well, but I kind of really want to keep some ambiguity to it.
Well, the big light.
But I didn't keep any. That's fine. No, but like the actual meaning of that moment is like there's more to it, but I try not to like analyze because people just like have their own meanings for it, and it's nice.
When do you find out the meanings of your songs? Do you know while you're doing it or
when
before?
I read comment sections? No. Sometimes like I will go into a write and I will literally like I literally will just let it all flow, and then I might afterwards look at it and be like, okay, I understand what that means, because that was like I can tell from like context like where it was and stuff. But sometimes I will write a song and like I'll really like I'll like, you know, engineer the words a bit more, and I'll really try to figure out the best way or like the perfect way to say what I want to say, and that requires a bit more like conscious effort, and that requires a bit more like analysis at the time of writing. But sometimes I analyze after, and sometimes I never do. But yeah, it all depends. This song's a bit of an enigma for me. I don't know.
Are you cool with never analyzing them?
I think that I know what they mean in terms of like I know exactly how I felt writing it, and I kind of know why I put them in there. But I kind of like with things like The Big Light, I kind of like the fact that I wrote it for one thing, and it actually could mean so many different things. And then I'm kind of like, maybe it did mean that in a weird way. Maybe I just didn't know it yet. So that's always fun.
Katie Gregson-MacLeod, that is your name. You should listen to her music. We're going to put a link in the description below. Final thoughts over there, Daniel?
Do you want people to go back and listen to your old music too, or do you just want us to wait for the new stuff? Like the two single beds. Did I get that name right?
It's like, so it's second single bed. I mean, I released that like 2 weeks before Complex. It's kind of weird. It's like been a bit of a whirlwind. But I mean, I would love for people to hear my other stuff. Like, I mean, I think it just makes it a bit more rounded. My older stuff isn't like Complex. I think the songs are kind of come from the same place, but there's a bit different. There's a bit more rock and stuff in there sometimes. So it's nice. I mean, if you want to get more of a sense of who I am or what kind of music I make, then yeah, for sure, go for it. But also please listen to the next stuff. Both would be good.
Complex versions 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 12,
up to 12.
Yeah, that's what I call complex.
The possibilities are endless, just like The Big Light.
That's the big song.
It's not quite driver's license, so you know.
Not quite as you know. Driver's license.
If only.
I have a feeling we're going to be seeing a lot of you in the future, so please come back on our show. Yeah.
Thank you. I would love to. It's cool.
You're exceptional.
Oh.
Katie Gregson-MacLeod, everybody.
Whoa.